Dunedin TV presents your local weekly morning show from delightfully different Dunedin. Featuring Justin Gattaccio with Caitlin Hart. Including a musical performance by a local artist, an in-depth conversation with people in the know. This is Good Morning Dunedin.
This week on Good Morning Dunedin, it's springtime.
Elizabeth Faubert has a message from the Dunedin Community Garden.
Artist Mason Gehring joins us in the Art Corner.
The City of Dunedin's new female communications director, Sue Burness, is in the studio to talk about what's next.
And local rock stars follow the Monarchs, share their musical talents from the Anti-Brewery. All of this and more is coming up this morning on
Good Morning Dunedin.
And welcome back to your favorite little local morning show. I'm your host, Justin Gattaccio, and I'm here with my co-host, Caitlin Hart. How you doing this morning?
Good, Justin. How about yourself?
Wonderful, thank you.
Awesome, no problem.
So thank you all for tuning in this morning, whether on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or on our local Dunedin TV cable channels 15 and 639. However you found us today, thanks for watching your favorite little local morning show. So what's been up, Caitlin?
Well, I've been enjoying all the flowers in bloom. I love flowers for the springtime. The pollen, though, that's a little much right now. My car was full of it the other day. Like, instead of snow, it was pollen. But I did hit up the beach also, the Dunedin Causeway.
Good. Took some of our spring break advice last week. That's
I did. So what about you? Anything?
Well, speaking of flowers, I started my garden. I do a vegetable garden, and I also have like a butterfly garden. Part of our garden is milkweeds, and the monarch butterflies land on the milkweeds, and they lay their little eggs. The eggs hatch into tiny caterpillars, and then they eat the leaves and grow into bigger caterpillars, and then they make a chrysalis.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then they open up, and we've done that.
Yeah, my friend used to have like a huge thing. Her grandmother used to have like tons of caterpillars and butterflies inside her home, and these little like huge things.
Cocoon and
It was so cool to watch that every time I went over there.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch the chrysalises like turn clear, and you can like see them, and then they come out, and it's a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, they're always in different stages. So.
We've been doing this for years. In Community Corner News, we are highlighting the Dunedin Community Garden. Longtime resident and Dunedin Community Garden president, Elizabeth Faubert, has a message from the Community Garden for us.
Good morning, Dunedin. I'm Elizabeth Faubert, and welcome to the Dunedin Community Garden. Today we're here because spring has sprung. As you can see, there's very much green because all of these green things like lettuce and kale love the cooler weather, so they have been doing great. Now that it's starting to get a little bit warmer, we're going to be planting beans, cucumbers, squash, all different kinds of squash. When it starts to get a little bit warmer, we're going to be planting okra and sweet potatoes. In the summertime at the garden is one of the most challenging times because many things do not like the high heat that we have here. But okra and sweet potatoes love it. The community garden was started 10 years ago by a group of Dunedin residents who wanted to have a community garden here. And through their hard work and the cooperation of the City of Dunedin, the garden was created in 2010. We had at the beginning about 40 garden beds, and we had a very long waiting list. So the city allowed us to expand, and we made 15 more beds. And if you want to get involved in the Dunedin Community Garden, you can go to our website. We have a brand new website. It's www.dunedincommunitygarden.org. And on our website, you can go to the member info page, and it will show you different ways you can join us by volunteering or becoming a member. It's only $25 to be a member or get on the waiting list if you want a garden bed. We do have a small waiting list right now, but it moves along. For our 10-year anniversary, we're having a $10 for 10 years fundraiser. So if you go to our website and donate $10, you will also get a recipe booklet that we put together from recipes from a local chef. and we really appreciate your support. Good morning, Dunedin.
Thanks, Elizabeth. My daughter JC and her Girl Scout troop actually have a plot at the community garden, so we're going to go there and snack on some of the fresh produce as the fruits and vegetables ripen, and it's all organic too.
Oh, wow. For more information on how to get your own plot in the garden, go to the Dunedin Community Garden on Facebook. The garden is located at 1040 Virginia Street behind the Fire Department Administration Office. In other Community Corner news, Dunedin's Resilient Environmental Action Master Plan, otherwise known as DREAM, is having their next online forum tomorrow, Saturday, March 27th. Share the thoughts, ideas, and dreams you have to contribute to the plan. As the city is writing its environmental plan, staff wants to hear the needs and hopes of the community. Share your thoughts by attending a community forum. If you have any questions, contact Dunedin Sustainability at 727-298-3215, extension 1324.
So yeah, that's it's like a Zoom webinar. You can find out more information at dunedingov.com. Also in Community Corner News, today is Wear Purple Day for epilepsy awareness. So we like to promote some of these awareness days and let people know to do more research and maybe donate or something.
For sure.
All right, so in this week's Art Corner, associate producer Seth Walker interviewed artist Mason Gehring to learn about the new public bench she designed on the Pinellas Bike Trail.
My name is Mason Gehring, and I'm a painter and an arts and health professional. Arts and health is basically having artists provide an art experience in a healthcare setting. So I'm not an art therapist. I don't provide any clinical diagnosis or treatment, but it's scientifically proven that looking at and participating in art in recovery or in the hospital or whatever that you may be experiencing can improve your well-being. Well, my mom's an artist, so I think I'm innately influenced by my mom. Sometimes when just like doodling, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I painted a tree that absolutely looks like one of my mom's trees. Personally though, growing up, Frida Kahlo was a huge inspiration to me. She did lots and lots of self-portraits that were very emotional and inner dialogue driven, and so a lot of my work has that. For a while I've been working on self-portraits, making them work for everyone. So deconstructing them, making it not look like here's a portrait of me and here's a portrait of me and here's, because that's not important to me. I'm trying to, with my own face, sort of convey more emotional landscapes that are going on inside. I've always had art supplies all around me at all times. As a teenager, that's how I coped. I was always making art because I was so angry and I didn't know what else to do with myself. And I thought for a while I was going to be an architect, which was hysterical. So then I went to SPC because I thought I was going to be a tattoo artist, and my mom was like, please do not do that. And I actually met Marjorie Green. She was the head of the fine art department for SPC for a long time. That woman changed my life, truly. Then I transferred to the School of Visual Arts in New York, and she gave me the guts to okay, art school, that's what I need to do. Right now, I'm teaching some teen classes, just basic drawing, and I was teaching a sketchbook journal class. And it's for 11 to 17-year-olds, and I wanted to focus on that age because I think they honestly didn't have a lot of classes in that age group, but that's kind of this spot where society is telling kids art's really not that important. When you're little, they're always giving you crayons and paint and stuff, but at that age it's maybe you should go play sports, maybe you should go do this. That age, I think I straight up tell kids middle school is the hardest part of your life. Everything is up from here. Just get through middle school, you're gonna be fine. And so I want to be there and teach them and give them a tool to give them an outlet for all of the things that they're going through. I proposed an idea for the benches for Dunedin, and my proposal was received well, and it was an adventure in painting. I'd never painted a bench at all and much rather stay with flat surfaces. And so I definitely had a little struggle of figuring out how my image is going to wrap around each slat. But I was really happy on how it all turned out. And I tried to keep the imagery simple with bright colors and something that could be universally connected with people and wanting to participate with it. So I actually had two proposals. One was the love that got painted. My new idea got accepted as well. It's basically a series of just different people and showing inclusion and diversity in Dunedin, and that everyone's welcome and come and hang out on my bench. Art is important because it's for everyone. Being an artist is a job, and you should take it seriously, and you have to be really courageous and willing to push through all of the ups and downs of creating, and you're a small business owner as well. But everyone is creative, and so art we've been doing for thousands of years. We had art before we had language. Whatever it is, whether it's chopping vegetables to make them look like flowers or painting a painting, go make art. It's important. Good morning, Dunedin.
All right, thanks, Seth. So Mason is a teacher at the Dunedin Fine Arts Center, and her new bench can be seen on the Burness Bike Trail right across from CUNY Brewing. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we will have in the studio with us the new City of Dunedin Communications Director, Sue Burness. We'll be right back.
Dear Dunedin resident, visitors, and neighbors, we know 2020 wasn't kind to many of us. As we move into the new year, let's start changing the narrative. It's time to get back to the activities that make life worth living. Be responsible and stay safe. With love, the City of Dunedin.
Welcome back to Good Morning Dunedin. I'm your host, Justin Cataccio. Please help me in welcoming to the show the new Communications Director for the City of Dunedin, Sue Burness. Welcome to the show, Sue.
Thank you, Justin, and good morning, Dunedin.
Sue, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show, and welcome to the Communications Department. Welcome to Gus Cooper's studio here at City Hall.
Thank you.
It's perfect timing because we're still celebrating Women's History Month. So my first question is, did you always know you were going to be an influential woman in government communication?
Actually, no. So, Justin, I started my career in the private sector, actually in central New York, working for the dairy industry, some of the largest dairy associations in the state. You probably didn't know that the dairy industry is actually New York State's largest industry. Most people don't know that. So, but I have to admit, there were very few women in leadership roles, especially during that time. But I was lucky to always have women mentors throughout my career. So when I moved to the Columbus region in the mid-1990s, I worked for advertising and PR agencies, and I was very fortunate to have strong women leaders that were mentoring me and inspiring me. And as you mentioned, it's Women's History Month, and the city is very, very fortunate to have Jennifer Bramley as city manager.
That's right.
Leading the city, and just the passion and the professionalism that she brings, and she's really part of why I'm here.
Absolutely. And she's actually the first female city manager for the
That's correct.
city of Dunedin.
That's correct.
And there really aren't a lot of female city managers.
No,
nationwide.
absolutely. I recently learned that only 15% of city managers in the country are female. Now, I also have had the opportunity to work with a female city manager in the previous job. She was there several years ago when I first started. But, and actually one of our assistant city managers went on to another city to be a city manager. So I've been very fortunate to work with really, really smart, strong women in government.
So that's very fortunate, and we love having women in our city. Can you tell us a little bit about your previous government role as communications director in Dublin, Ohio?
Absolutely. So I was Director of Communications and Public Information, and our division's function was to be the communication gateway for the city. And we were very busy on working with all the departments and all the divisions in implementing their communication strategies. And so all of that encompassed was, crisis communication, strategic planning, messaging, digital, social media was a big part of what we did. And of course, everything today is, social media is not just a platform for us to get information out, but it is a way for the community to connect with us. So we wanted to always be very responsive on our digital platforms, and video communications was a huge part of what we did, because we know that just like here in Dunedin, we want to produce good video content to connect with our residents and to get our messages out.
So what inspired you to come to Dunedin, and what was the hiring process like?
So very good question, Justin. I was not looking for a job. I had lived in the city of Dublin for 25 years. I raised 3 daughters there. I was really involved in the community, and I have worked for the city for the past 10 years. I was recruited by a search firm, and I began to look into Dunedin. We've always loved the Tampa Bay area. I have family down here. How can you not? I have family down here, and so I visited the area many times. And we, as I looked into the community of Dunedin, I was really, really drawn and attracted to it. I watched a lot of Dunedin TV. I watched hours of commission meetings. And the more I invested in research, the more attracted I was to this opportunity. So the process was long and rigorous, and most of it was on Zoom. And the final interview that I came to Dunedin in January, and that interview brought me here, and I totally fell in love with the community, and so did my husband. And so it was definitely a hard decision to leave where I'd been, but I am really excited to be here. I am anxious and excited to work with the leadership team, the commission, the staff, and really get to know the community that I will be serving in this role.
So again, thanks for coming on. We're very excited to have you here as the director of communications. We've been without a director for a few years, and I've been kind of filling in as interim. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I really appreciate being here. I want to, again, express my gratitude for having this opportunity to learn the community, to get to know everyone in the community, the organizations, the fabric, what people are passionate about. And I just want to reach out and tell people to connect with me. I'm really easy to find on social media, on Facebook and other platforms, because I do want to get to know all of you and be able to serve you in not just communications, but being involved in the community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Dunedin's a great community. We're all kind of tightly mixed together, and communications, we were actually community relations for a little bit. And I think that really speaks to what our job is, relating to the community and communicating the government information and policies and programs and services to people and let them know what's available to them.
Absolutely. And as I said earlier, communications, used to be just kind of a one-way platform broadcasting out. And now we have all these platforms in which we can engage residents and the business community, and we can really provide platforms for conversation and feedback, which really ultimately is what we all need in a community.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thanks again, Sue. It's so wonderful to have you with us here at the Communications Department and on Good Morning Dunedin.
Thank you, Justin. And I appreciate how welcoming you have been and everyone on the staff has been since I arrived here last week.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks again, Sue. Up next, I meet Caitlin in Crafty Corner, where we'll be planting some seeds for spring. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Good Morning Dunedin. We're in Caitlin's Crafty Corner, and today we are going to show you how to plant some seeds.
So it's springtime, and we're doing a springtime episode. We thought we'd get you guys motivated to start a garden. And we've got some seeds here. These are store-bought seeds. We got some sunflower seeds and some vegetable seeds.
Some fruit seeds.
Fruit and vegetables. And then, if you're not familiar with how a seed packet works, on the back it's got the growing seasons for your region. And then on the front it says how many days to flower or germinate. But
Yeah, so for this Crafty Corner items, obviously you need some seeds. We're actually using some little egg cartons. So we're using egg cartons for this, kind of separate and make it a little easier. Obviously you need some soil, and we got some gloves just so we don't get our hands too dirty, and a little shovel here for the soil.
So I like to use egg cartons just because they have the little, separated sections. You could plant seeds straight into the ground. They recommend that you cover them so they keep real moist. But I like to get them started in an egg carton, and then once they're a couple inches tall, I transplant them into my garden bed. And so
Yes, I found out that works easier because, like Justin said, if you put it into the garden first and you don't cover it,
they dry up and die.
that is what happened to me. So.
And you need to get the little baby seeds or little baby plants are pretty vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start with some of this potting.
Put some little soil in there. Oh, not too much though.
So this is seed starting potting mix.
Thank you.
I can use you can use compost. I got this one's cow manure mix from the store. But these have little granules that keep them moist and
Getting a little messy today.
So we've got, I'm going to do some larkspur, some flowers. I've mostly just done vegetables so far, so I'm going to do some flowers.
And I'm going to do some sunflowers because those are my favorite.
Which you can also eat,
Oh, yes.
sunflower seeds, right?
Yes, that's right. So for sunflowers, it says between March and July to plant them, so that's perfect timing right now.
So I'm going to pre-moisten my soil.
Oh, it's a little hard with gloves to do this.
In there. These are real small. These are tiny seeds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are real small. Flower seeds are usually pretty small, unless they're sunflower seeds, which we're all familiar with.
Yes. Especially if you like to eat them.
So, planting a garden is important. The city of Dunedin has like a 1% challenge. If you can try to grow 1% of your food, it's kind of a sustainability thing. I know that pretty soon we're going to be trying to do the mayor's Wayland Water Conservation Challenge, which is coming up. But what I wanted to say was that you want to choose the right location for your garden. A lot of plants like full sun, and you don't want to have it too far from your water source, or your hose, or your... I like to use my rain barrel, which is just around the edge of the house. You know, and I like to water my seedlings with a sprayer, you know, so that way it doesn't flood them, it doesn't wash out the soil, and it's more natural. All right, let me finish doing this. Okay, and I started doing it in here. Whoops, just spilled some seeds. But you might want to label which container has what seed in it, so you know what you're growing and you know the spacing when you plant your garden.
Yeah, so in here we got some corn, it's the little taller ones. I believe we have some cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe, and these little ones here are carrots.
Carrots.
And so I got summer squash, cantaloupe, carrots, corn. I think that's about it. That's going in here, and now in here I've got these larkspurs.
And here we got some sunflowers.
All right, so we hope you all get a garden started, maybe plant some vegetables, and enjoy.
Maybe I can try my carrots, take 2.
Don't forget to water your plants as well. All right, so that's it for Crafty Corner, right, Caitlin?
That looks like it to me.
Okay, I think it's time for some birthday shout-outs.
It is.
All right.
Happy birthday to Vincent. Vincent turns 8 this week. He loves Mario and Legos and got an award at school for being kind. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Austin. Austin is a board member for the Dunedin Film Festival. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Joe. Joe is the guitarist for Follow the Monarchs and works at Dunedin Brewery. Happy birthday.
All right, well, happy birthday, everybody. In keeping with the spring theme, our musical guest this week is a band of local rock stars called Follow the Monarchs. But before we hear our musical guests, I wanted to thank Elizabeth Faubert, Mason Gehring in the Art Corner, Sue Burness, and of course you, wherever you are, for joining us this morning. You can reach out to us on social media to share your story. Please remember to be kind to one another and to stay safe out there. Caitlin.
Good morning, Dunedin.
All right, we are Follow the Monarchs from Dunedin, Florida. I've got Alex over here on my left, Joe on my right, Cabe on my far right. I'm Mike Bryant. We're hanging out at the Anti Brewery, and we're about to play our song Demise for you. So enjoy.
Everything that you've taken has cut you down a size. Dreams you think you're making, they're all a bunch of lies. Everything you borrowed has opened up my eyes. Eventually you'll figure out it's all to your demise. fair. Is someone